Now, politicians often say this, so I'll just say this so you understand. Let me be clear, right? This new deal with Meghan Markle that she's boasting about, the new deal that says, well, they get a first look at Netflix of any idea that she's got. Let me tell you, if Netflix turns it down, no other major streaming company would want to know, because they are the creme de la creme in the world of streaming, in the sort of digital platform stuff. Yes, another company might take it, but it'd be pinochle money, and that really wouldn't work for Meghan Markle, you understand. But what's interesting is that Meghan is, not giving up. And if you thought, of course, the Christmas special was the end of the road, well, it could be in many respects, because in 2 weeks' time we're going to see this new With Love Meghan, the second series, rubbish, whatever. It's not a second series, it's just an extension of what they couldn't put out the first time, as we all know. But now Meghan has submitted some ideas to Netflix for a first look. And as ever, I'm happy to share them with you. Let me explain. Morning, nice to see you, chums. Thank you so much for joining me today. Don't be sorry if I get the giggles. I just can't help it, I sort of think that the thing with this sort of stuff is, when you're a powerful name, and, whether you like it or not, Meghan Markle is a powerful name. If she does something, the media is interested, and mainly because it's a failing situation, Everybody picked up on, I told you the fact that she knew the bug was on there with the food, but they just leave it on because it gets talked about. We haven't had a wave. Nice to see you. Welcome, one and all brand new subscribers. This is how they work. This is their new disruptive company, whatever we want to call it. What's interesting here, though, is this. You see, Meghan, as I said, the deal with Netflix is a farce, right? They're going to sort of have first dibs on any ideas. Well, haven't exactly had cracking ideas to start with, have they? The business show and the McCasker kids or whatever that is now, and the other thing that never got made, it's just rubbish. And the problem that you've got is now they're thinking, well, okay, the way to do this is to focus on her heritage. And her heritage, as we know, is Meghan utilising the HRH, right? And this is what she's done very cleverly. When that thing came out with where she'd sent the friend utilising HRH, everybody knew that was the point of, well, I'm letting the monarchy know that I'm not, I'm doing what I want. And this was really just to goad William. It's really about, she couldn't get over the fact that he was not buying into her, So everything that she can to upset him, this is what she does. It's very childish in many respects, but this is the sort of people you're dealing with. What's interesting, though, is this. You see, Meghan's new ideas definitely focus on her title, a title that caused her so much heartache, so much tragedy in a short period inside the monarchy. She could barely scratch the surface, if you remember, sitting down with Jane Pauley, and she couldn't stand it. It was, oh, no. But now, a couple of the ideas moving forward are this: driving with the Duchess, right? And this is what I find quite funny. The thing Thelma and Louise, and this is what you've got to look at in somebody's mindset. This would have been a big movie when Meghan was quite young, right? Thelma and Louise, we know the story, Brad Pitt, all that sort of stuff. Well, basically, Meghan driving around certain areas of America and finding out interesting things, and they tell her something and she shares that with us. Right, yeah. Okay, travel log, okay. This is, yeah. Now, the next one, how about this? Dining with the Duchess. So this is Meghan again going around America to certain areas that we don't know, never seen or anything like that. And basically she rocks up, somebody in that area maybe cooks one of their traditional local things and dining with the Duchess, and she gives her opinion and maybe adds a little bit to the menu, some idea. I bet it's flour sprinkles, don't you? Oh God. And then you just kind of think, right. Now, I just would have loved to have been sat there as those people in Netflix were sitting there thinking, right, Now, the only sellable factor with this, truly, is this. The only sellable factor is the fact that he has the title of Duchess in. And this is not what she's used before. You see, she's always just used her name, With Love Meghan, and, but on the main things where they get the credits, they insist on it being executive producer, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, you know what I mean? So this is a radical move forward, and she believes by including that title, as I pointed out with the other bit, then that means that basically, they might just be a bit more lenient on her. You get the picture? And this is the idea where she's now pushing that brand, that name, in order to try and change that. The thing is, driving or dining, it still remains to be seen if anybody will switch on for that. And I often say this, I know, chums, but would you? Neil Sean, Kensington, London.